Tonight, I'm going to show you my favorite easy shop upgrades to take your shop to the next level. Number 1 on the list is double outlets. This may seem like something simple, but it's an easy upgrade that you can do yourself. In my small shop, I'm often having to move things around and work in different corners in different areas of my shop. What that means is sometimes I need extension cords to move my tools around from one place to another. I've had so many times when I want to plug something in, but either there's not an outlet there or it's full with other tools on it, and so I have to unplug one and plug in another, and then I forget, I go to turn on the first tool and it's not plugged in. Having double outlets anywhere you can, and especially in the areas that you use a lot, is a huge upgrade in your shop. It's simple and cheap, and if you haven't tried it, there's plenty of videos out there on how to make a single outlet into a double outlet. Number 2 is to optimize your small tool storage. Build yourself a tool garage or a storage area for all of your different corded tools. Underneath my workbench, I built a system with dividers that I can use to separate the tools and organize them. Get rid of all of the bags and cases that your tools come in. You don't need those. They just take up extra space. Find a spot in your shop where you can just store them in the corner or get rid of them altogether. If you need to take your tools somewhere, pull out a bag and use it, but you don't need to store your tools in those bags. Number 3. Drawers are awesome. I'm always in favor of more drawers because if you use a design that's simple and easy to build, you can build a lot of these and you can keep your tools stored and out of the way. You keep the dust off them, and it's easy to clean up your shop even if you don't have your drawers perfectly organized. Look around your shop and try to find areas that are underutilized where you could build a cabinet. You could put some drawers in there underneath a tabletop or something. Number 4, add air hose lines and power drops. I added air hose lines to my shop a couple years ago, and I have 3 different drops in different corners of my garage so I can use them to connect hoses, clean things off, use air tools, use a paint sprayer, fill up tires in the car. Having those drops in place makes it so I don't have to run hoses all over my garage and roll them up and put them away. The setup that I installed is kind of cheap. It's not fancy. It probably leaks in a couple places, but I have a main shutoff for my hose line so that I don't constantly bleed air out of the system. For power, I'd suggest either a drop from the ceiling if you have a big shop, or at least a power strip or something in your main work area. I have a power strip that I installed underneath the front edge of my workbench, which is great because then I can have all the cords off the bench and I don't have to have extension cords going everywhere. A lot of times when I'm building stuff, there's certain skills and techniques that I may not be familiar with or that I've never even done before. And I found a great resource that has a catalog of hundreds of different videos of very specific skills. For this video today, I've partnered with Woodworkers Guild of America, and they are your online resource for woodworking skills, instruction, and information. I actually know a few of the instructors from this site personally. George Vondriska, Alicia Albertson, and Jimmy DeResta are all people that I've met and talked to in person. They have some definite areas of expertise. One of the things that Alicia talks about in some of her videos are color matching different stains to be able to make cheap wood look expensive. She uses some really cool techniques to show how you can make alder look like walnut. She also has a video on how to make new wood look old and weathered. They have all kinds of videos about tons of different woodworking techniques, like how to set up hand planes, how to cut tapers on a joiner, and a lot about dovetails, whether it's hand cut dovetails or machine cut dovetails. They've also set up a really cool offer right now where the first 1,000 people to click on the link in this video will get a full year of premium subscription to Woodworkers Guild of America for only $149. That sounds like a pretty good deal. So thank you to Woodworkers Guild of America for sponsoring this video. Number 5 is tool upgrades. Most power tools come with a stock blade, a stock router bit, and I will tell you, these blades are almost always pretty bad. I even got rid of the table saw blade that came with my saw stop. This is a way you can take a cheap saw or a cheap router and turn it into something way more powerful. A new blade that's good quality can take your saw to a whole nother level. Another thing you can upgrade if you have, say, an old table saw is you can put an aftermarket fence on it. Now, I did this with my Craftsman table saw before I had my current table saw, and I took the stock fence that it came with off completely, and I put on an aftermarket Vega fence, which made a huge difference. Turned my basic contractor saw into almost a cabinet saw. So save your money, upgrade your bandsaw blades, upgrade your table saw blades, your router bits. You can even do this on smaller tools like jigsaws or circular saws. Just get an upgraded blade and that will make a huge difference. Number 6 is shop flooring. Now there's a lot of different options for this, but I would suggest getting some kind of anti-fatigue mats. Now these are not that expensive, but they really make a huge difference in your shop. If you're able to cover your whole shop floor in some kind of a pad or a mat, that is awesome. I've seen people use big rubber mats from horse stalls. I just have a couple sets of interlocking anti-fatigue mats. You can buy these for pretty cheap on Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's, anywhere. Put these especially in areas where you're standing a lot. in front of your workbench, in front of your table saw. It'll be a huge upgrade that your feet and your legs will thank you for. Number 7 is lumber storage. You need a lumber rack of some sort, and you need a place for your scraps. They have a lot of different pre-made lumber racks. One of my favorite ones that you can buy is made by Bora, and it's relatively inexpensive. I have one of these racks in my shop, and it's fully loaded up to the top and has never had a problem. You can also make them yourself, which is what I've done in 2 other locations in my shop to store lumber. Any wall space that's above my head that doesn't have French cleats on it has a lumber rack. If you want to do your own lumber rack, I made a video of this and I have a link in the description below. Number 8. Make sure you have some collapsible temporary workbenches. I have 2 of these that are unfortunately no longer in production. These are called the X Workhorse from Husky, and you can't find them online anywhere. These are my favorite ones. They're really sturdy. I can fold them flat and stick them against the wall, or I can pull them out and put a piece of plywood on top, and I have a big finishing table. I can use them to support whatever project I'm working on. They're really handy to have around. Get yourself something sturdy that won't wobble, but can be used as an actual miniature bench. Number 9 is fastener organizers. These are bins that you can get at any big box store or online or a bajillion other different places. They're awesome for organizing fasteners, hardware, pads for cabinet doors, all kinds of odds and ends. Get a bunch of these organizers and build a storage rack, and you can keep all your fasteners and everything in one place. Then when you're ready to pull it out, you pull it out, set it on your workbench, pull out what you need, and then put it away. When I did that with all my fasteners and screw boxes, that was a huge upgrade to my shop. I would highly recommend on this getting the type of organizer that has individual bins you can remove and take in and out. I have a couple of these organizers that have dividers, not actual bins. And this has been really difficult if you're trying to store washers or small screws inside there, because those dividers can start moving up and then you got parts mixing. Number 10 is shop lighting. And I will say this is one that can have a very big impact on your shop. Most garages come with just a few single light bulb sockets. If that's all you have to work with, there are some really cool LED lights that kind of look like flower petals that open up and they screw right into a single light bulb socket. I have some of these in my garage and they really brighten things up if you're just going to use the existing sockets. If you want to take your lighting seriously though, get some LED lights that can daisy chain together. Put some outlets in your ceiling and make sure all your work areas have plenty of light. There are a lot of different lighting options out there, but I would highly recommend using the LED lights and go with the bright white color. That's going to give you the most clarity when you're trying to measure something and see exactly where that mark is, or you're trying to put finish on something. It makes a huge difference in any shop. Number 11 is work mats. They make a lot of different types of work mats. These pads are great for sanding. You can also use them for gluing things up if you don't want to get glue on your workbench. You can also use them as a protection for the top of a table saw or another tool that you're using as an extra table or an extra workbench. This one is from Bow Products. It's waterproof, it's padded, and it's large. I also have another one from Rockler, which is designed for glue ups. This mat is silicone, so all the glue drops drip onto it and then just pop right off. If you want an even cheaper option, you can go into any home store that sells carpet and ask for a piece of carpet padding. While this stuff is not always waterproof, you can use it as a sanding pad or a glue up pad to protect whatever you have underneath or to protect the project you're working on. I have links for all these things down below. Number 12, this is a personal favorite of mine, but I think you need to have something to personalize your garage and make it your own. You need some garage decor. You need some cool stuff to put on the walls that's meaningful to you. Maybe it's projects that you made or signs that you think are funny or inspiring maybe. In my shop, up above my back door, I have a giant fish cutting board, which is significant because it was the very first project I made in 7th grade wood shop. And while I started making things before that, that's where I really started to learn woodworking. I also have some signs from Maker Camp. I have some sticker boards from all the different people that I've met at different events. I have an interesting weapon up on the wall that I can't really talk about right now. And while I would love to have an airplane hanger outside my back door, unfortunately I don't. Now, if you've made it through all the tips so far, I have a bonus tip for you. This is something that will help your shop get upgraded without costing you anything. Set yourself up an Amazon wish list where you can go in and find whatever tools or upgrades you want to do to your shop and just add them to your wish list. Then take that wish list and share it with your friends and family. When someone asks you what you want for your birthday or for Christmas, just send them the link to this list. It's a great way to upgrade your shop at little to no cost to you. All right, now let me know in the comments if there's something I forgot here or if there's a favorite upgrade that you did in your shop. Now, go build something and we'll see you next time.